guys, what's up? Are you guys currently wasting time by watching a video about how to stop wasting time? It may be ironic, but you've actually made a great decision to watch this video. Because today I'm going to share some tips with you guys on how to stop wasting time and actually get things done. Let's start! Identify your time wasters. Keep track of the things you do daily, even the smallest of tasks. Find out how much time you waste on social media, video games, online chat, watching TV, doing your makeup, and other things that consume most of your time. Once you've identified the problems, you can then work on reducing the time you spend doing those things, or even better, stop doing them altogether. Get rid of distractions. Turn off your electronics and other things that might keep you from working. If you really need to use your laptop to do your work, then make sure you've turned off your Wi-Fi so you won't get tempted to start browsing the internet. You can also install a website blocking app on your browser like Stay Focused. But I find that it's much more effective to just cut the internet connection altogether than to use an app which you can easily disable by a click of a finger. Or you can also create a work account on your laptop which doesn't contain any app that might distract you from working. You can also opt to use someone's laptop or computer to do your work, for example, your mom's laptop, or maybe the computer in your library. That way you won't have access to the games or files you have on your own laptop. Do the data dump. Storing every task and thought you have inside your head and overthinking things will get you overwhelmed and eventually cause you to procrastinate. In order to prevent that, you should spend around 10 to 15 minutes writing down the things you have in your mind or the things that you possibly need to do on a piece of paper. We do this to free up our brain. This is not a to-do list, but it's something that we use to put our mind at ease so we can then prioritize the tasks that we need to do instead of keeping them inside our head and end up forgetting about them later. Make a schedule. You don't have to be super specific about it, and you don't need to buy a brand new journal just to start making your schedule. You can simply use any book or paper you already have, or even the note app on your phone, and write a list or outline or a simple timetable for the things you need to do. Giving yourself a time frame will make it more likely for you to complete the task, starting from the most important one to the most trivial one. Be realistic about your plans. Don't plan to do too many things in one day. Oftentimes, we overestimate the amount of time we have to finish our tasks in one day, only to regret it later after realizing that we can't actually spend a full 10 hours a day to do productive work. That's why you have to prioritize. Start with your most important and urgent tasks before moving on to the smaller ones. People tend to make the mistake of doing the smaller tasks first as a way to procrastinate and escape from their main responsibility. They then end up not having enough time to do their most important tasks, and they don't produce satisfying result because they finish it in a hurry. It's better to spend a lot of time working on your main task and spend the rest of your time working on the smaller tasks since they don't require a lot of thinking and energy. Create a focus period. Working for a short hour but with full focus is much better than working long hours but without focusing on your task at hand. Set yourself a stop time. For example, you can set a timer for 20 minutes to do your work. After that, you can then spend 20 minutes resting and continue working for another 20 minutes afterward. I find that I can accomplish more things in 20 minutes if I truly focus on my work, rather than in 8 hours but with my mind wandering elsewhere. Don't multitask. When you're doing a 20-minute focus period, you have to only do one task or else it won't be effective. Unless you're doing something that doesn't require a lot of concentration like working out or doing your chores, then you can do them while doing other things such as listening to music. Work in a place that forces you to concentrate. It'll be helpful for you to find a space where you can do your work without interruption. I've made a detailed video about how to create the perfect work or study space, and you can watch it by clicking here or follow the link in the description box below. So those were all the tips that I could share with you guys. I hope you found them helpful. Now that you've watched this video, it's time for you to apply these tips and start working. So that's all from me today, guys. Thank you very much for watching this video, and thank you for those of you who have subscribed to me. If you haven't, then be sure to click on my face below. Don't forget to like this video and share with your friends if you enjoyed watching it, and I will see you on my next one. Have a nice day, everyone. Bye bye!